We're coming now to the 18th century, and there were a lot of inventions at that particular time, things that become critically important in the development of the United States. Probably the most important would be the cotton gin by Eli Whitney. This allowed the great plantation owners to actually pick out the little pieces of the seed, and they were just absolutely difficult to do. So they would gin the cotton and get out the dark seeds to make the cotton more pure. And this was a thing that at that time usually done by slaves. So it was a key invention to developing the South and the cotton, the development of cotton and the exportation. Then we have Benjamin Franklin, who we know was constantly inventing. And one of his great inventions was the Franklin stove. Houses were terribly chilly and cold, especially those with the stone base. And he devised a metal stove that would heat an entire room, and it was forged and made out of iron, and it had a place on the inside where you could open the door and go and put in more logs. But he takes full credit for that particular invention, and he did have one in his house and in the kitchen. So the Franklin stove, which by the way is still, there are still Franklin stoves used today in housing. They're environmentally pure, they say, and they stick out into your room. We have several friends that have a Franklin stove. So that's an interesting side point. Then we have James Watt, and James Watt invented the steam engine. Now there is a very vital invention, and this is one that revolutionized the cotton looming weaving industry. It's going to really burst into making the New England colonies, especially those with water power, into areas where the looming and child labor is going to rear its ugly head. They're going to be able to loom, and the young children would be paid maybe a penny a day, and they would run the large looms, and oftentimes their hair was long and pulled back, and oftentimes they would get their hair entangled in the loom, and they would be killed because their hair literally was scalped off. So the steam engine did a lot of positive things, but it also did set up the beginning of child labor. Now there's lots of inventions that came around at that time.